I can already hear it now. Josh, you can't just put ham radio in front of words and make them mean ham radio things. Well, in this case, for tools, I think I absolutely can. There are a number of tools that I used this year, specifically this year, that really did help out my amateur radio fun, if you will. Made things a little bit easier for installations like on antennas. And yes, even a little bit of operation of radio with a couple of tools that I used throughout the year. So let's go to the workbench and I'll show you my favorite tools from this year. All right, first item is the Nitecore NU25. This is a pretty simple headlamp with a couple of LEDs. It has a red mode, which you use most often for camping, but it comes in two modes. One is this little shock corded version, and then one that has like straps, so you can kind of go either way. The shock corded one is a little bit lighter. This is a fine headlamp. It's not the most powerful, and that's actually not why I recommend it. It's because it's light. And you know what I say about ham radio gear or accessory gear you might take with you in the field? You want to keep it light so that you can carry more radios and more batteries and more all the other things. And you shouldn't go out into the field, particularly like Summits on the Air, without a good headlamp. And of course, it has USB-C charging. So this is a winner for me. It comes in a couple of colors. It's a black model. I went with the yellow for high vis. And it has been on my head or my son Benjamin's head in just about every campout we did this year. In the beginning of 2024, I bought these Knipex pliers, these adjustable pliers. And the idea behind them is they're pretty small. Again, something that's easy to pack. And when you're doing, say, like an antenna mount or something where you have a bolt you have to hold on to, these are great for that. They've got a bit of teeth on the inside and outside here that you can grab onto that bolt, and then you can use your driver to kind of fasten it home, tighten it down. And these are perfect. These are also a really good stocking stuffer for those that are interested in getting somebody something that has multi facets of use, but it can be really handy for amateur radio. Also, again, those U-bolts are kind of like my bane of existence aside from maybe rolling toroids. And these are great because they're small, so you can get them in there real tight in tight quarters, and you can get through the bolt and tighten it up. There is a couple of different models of these, like these Knipex pliers, which do not have the serrations, which sadly, I'm sure they have a model that does, but these are kind of like an adjustable crescent wrench almost, except that the jaw hinges, and so they open and close ever so slightly. These ones are also absolutely tops in my kit, and I usually keep a pair together like this, one for holding the back and then one that you're going to go around a bolt, and in this case, or a nut. In this case, this one, you give it just give it a little bit more than you need, and then you close it home and you're right tight on. So when you're using it, you kind of slip over the top of it to open it, and then you close it down to tighten. These work perfect in tandem. I often carry a pair though, EDCing, along with my Power Pint from SOG, but these are also really good to have in a amateur radio toolkit. You will use these, I promise you. These ones I purchased a while ago though. These were the new addition to the kit. I'll put both in the links in the video description so you can check them out. If you'd like a good bag for them to all go into as well, I recommend this little Weehaw jobber with these elastic bits, and you just kind of go through here, find the elastic pieces you want, and then just close it up. This goes into the field with me a lot. Something that might not surprise you, because I've talked about it so often, is an item I purchased at the end of 2023, but has now been a part of my daily kit for the entirety of 2024, whether I'm going in the office or I'm just working around the house or actually going out and doing a Parks on the Air, Summits on the Air, or camping, is the SOG Power Pint. This is pretty much the only SOG product I can recommend. It is a geared, if you will, so it's got this power amplifier type squeeze to it. So you don't have that nice feature of some multi-tools where it has a spring assist to where you close it and you let go and it springs open. That's the only downside of these. The upside is that it has an actual workable size to the needle nose, and the tool set is on the outside and mostly useful. The only item that I don't really like as much is that Warncliffe blade, but I'll usually have a utility knife or my regular carry pocket knife that I will use instead. This little scalpel is fun for package opening, as well as this seat belt cutter can also be used to open packages. The file is actually useful. a lot of these mini pocket tools have a file that's pretty garbage. This is both really coarse on one side and a little bit lighter on the other, which again, if you've ever used these mini pocket tools, they're pretty bad with a lot of their tool sets. The saw I could do without, but the rest of this is pretty good stuff. A Phillips head that's kind of on the small side but still useful. But if you need a pair of needle nose on you and you don't want to go full sized, the Power Pint is probably the way to go. And yes, I put the CountyCom glow indicator on most of my pocket tools so that if in case I ever drop it or just, you know, by chance I'll see this little green lanyard and that'll help identify it as well. Now, if you like Adam Savage on his channel Tested, then you saw in his favorite things this year, he talked about an automatic wire stripper. And I agree with all the points he made. They're fantastic. I think Weeha is the one he has. The problem is that one's like over $100 now. I think that model is exactly 100, and they have like another model that goes up to 120, and they have a slightly cheaper model that goes for 50 or 60. Anyway, this is 10 bucks. I think I got this at a Hamfest this year, and they work fine. Okay, the more expensive job is going to be way better, but the downside of that I see is I just don't actually strip enough wires to make such a purchase that viable. However, for $10, these guys are actually pretty effective. They may go for a little more expensive on Amazon. Again, check the links in the video description. But how this works is you adjust this screw, this knurled screw, to change the jaws of the head here, and then that gives you a little bit different friction or squeeze strength when you're pulling on these wires. For heavy gauge wires, thicker wires, you're going to have to open up those jaws a little bit, and for the smaller stuff, you close them in. I don't really use this plastic adjuster, but you can use this to set the depth or length of the wire that you're going to be stripping, and it's literally in between these jaws that they work. The cutters here are surprisingly good though. I have used these a lot. I will almost grab these to snip a large stranded copper line more often than just my regular diagonal cutters, because these have a little bit, I don't know, I get a little bit more leverage, I guess, on them, the way they close. All in all, a pretty good recommendation. Not something everybody needs, but it is also cheap enough that you could probably throw this in a stocking if you're listening and you have a ham radio loved one that you're thinking about buying for, and they'd be happy. Now, the last two units are almost combo units with each other, but a couple of years ago, I bought the Linus Tech Tip screwdriver, and you've probably seen me use it in some of my videos, and it's been fine. I would probably stick to using this for maybe electronics and computers and all that fun stuff. The downside is I don't like this bit carrier. These little pieces break, and I guess you lose bits. Is that what's happened here? Did I lose a bit at some point? I might have. Anyway, so they kind of have a tendency to break. You can see reviews of it online. It's fine, but for the price of this, you can get this, which is a Klein Tool Impact 16-in-1 driver. All these bits are supposed to be capable of working with your impact guns, which if you're doing ham radio stuff, particularly weekend warrior antenna setups, you likely have an impact gun, and this will go perfectly in a lot of those kits. How this works, and similar to the way the Linus Tech Tips one does, there's a little bottom part here with bits in it. The holder for this, though, is a much better job. They did a way better job with the way they retain these bits. The only downside to here is that there's no Allen bits in this kit. So if you do need that, you'll need to carry those bits separately or consider something else. The front end, though, is where it gets interesting. So this guy has a couple of things going on. There's the bit that it has already preloaded. By the way, that is one of the 16 bits, and these are full. So I would recommend that you pull a bit from here that you're not going to use and put the Phillips on the inside if you're going to carry this around, and carry it like this. Because these bits are not, they're magnetic retaining, but they're not really held in that deeply, and I don't want to lose a black bit in my tool bag if I don't have to. The tip, though, here is actually another driver that you can pull off, and you have two different sizes, a 1/4 inch and a 5/16, and it's flippable. So already, there you go, you got a couple more tools, and the end has a permanent magnet attached, so that's where you can get the connection for the different bits, or you can just go in and grab something you need. But this is also removable, and that will fit in your impact driver. So if you got an impact gun, there you go. And then on the other end here, you have another bit you could drive with and a socket connection in case you need to take this into something with a little bit more leverage. That will go directly into your socket that you can plug in. Now, the cool thing is that Klein has these universal receivers that can take different types of bits from their different kits, and this item goes directly with the last item, which is my huge find of the year, my favorite amateur radio tool. So keep this one on the side here because we're going to be doing a little show and tell with it. Also from Klein, they dropped this at the end of the year. This is a 32-piece through socket set, and it's a part of the KNECT series of tools, and it comes in this thing called a mod box, and the box is actually good. It has a little slotted spots here, and you can spring load other boxes together to carry around multiple Klein tools. But okay, so I was talking about U-bolts earlier, and you saw a couple of my videos this year where I was working with those U-bolts that are threaded on each end, and you put a nut on them and drive them down. For most of you, you are probably grabbing a crescent wrench or a plier or something along those lines, maybe mangling up the nut a little bit, but spending a lot of time just working the hand and trying to get this thing all fastened down. This takes care of all of that. Again, it works with the screwdriver, which we'll talk about. By the way, screwdriver is like 30 bucks. This is like 50 bucks for this kit. And again, impact rated. It's designed to work with your impact guns. So it's got a through hole socket. It's all metal. So far it's been fine. I've only used it for a couple of antennas and to build an IKEA couch. But the through hole is the big part, because you take this bit here with the through hole, go into the socket, and there you go. Now you have a through hole socket for your U-bolts. When you're tightening down those nuts, that threaded line will go all the way through and come out the end if you need that much. Most of the time you don't need more than this. But the sockets also are through hole by design. So this 1/2 inch that I used for an antenna goes right in there, and I'm able to do the U-bolts. Now I keep the socket in my pocket, and I'll grab it when I need to tighten it up at the end for a little bit more leverage if I want to do that. But most of the time, I'll just have the connector on it to go straight into my impact gun. And then I just give it the juice, tighten it up, and then that's it. This is speeds up so many simple processes with this cool design. And let's go back to the Klein model. So we got our 1/2 inch, and for some reason, maybe you don't want to do the socket, you just want to use a driver, well, throw it on in. And now you got an extra long, because this is hollow, I think, to about right here. You can just throw it in that way. Awesome. Pretty sure this will slide in too. Yeah, you can as well. So you can go with the driver that way if you need to do that. So they're fully interchangeable if you need that capability. And so now these guys live in my impact wrench tool bag that it's just been really helpful. It comes with bits as well, and it has a attachment for that. So if you need to go do some bit work, throw the attachment on, which is also the 1/2 inch, right? And then just throw your bit in. It is magnet retaining there at the bottom, which is really nice. So that one is not through hole for reasons, obviously, because you're going to use it as a driver, but keep that in mind. And it will also take and adapt to other connections if you need to for different sockets. Awesome. There are probably more bits than you need here. I believe they have other options in this that might be a little bit smaller with less bits or no bits, but it does have a couple of Allen bits here, and those have been fine for most of the stuff I've been doing, and it gives you a couple of different Phillips options. This is a bit, I don't even know what this one is. It's like a diamond with 2 legs on the side. Tell me in the chat what that is. Holy smokes, I've never seen that guy before. It's probably some electrician's type setup, because Klein Tools makes a lot of their products for electricians. You can see that in pretty much all their stuff they have on Amazon and on the internet. But yeah, I've so far just like re-found Klein Tools and just, I guess, fell in love with them. Only downside with the screwdrivers, it's not ratcheting like the Linus Tech Tips one. So if you need a ratcheting screwdriver, you might want to stick to that. But hard to beat, like for 30 bucks, the capabilities you get, and that it's impact rated is superb from my point of view. And definitely not new in 2024, but we spent so much time talking about impact guns. I will mention, for most of you watching me, the non-professional amateur radio operator, you only need the M12 fuel line from Milwaukee. This is more than enough. Electricians will often also use the M12s because they don't need a lot of that extra torque that you might need for building a home with one of the larger 18, 21 volt batteries. These guys are fine. The XC4 cells are cool. I have a couple of these for running my circular saw, which will cut down 2x4s, and Hacksaw thing, which is like a tiny reciprocating saw. But for the driver, you really don't even need this. You can just go with the smaller, the 3.0 battery. No, sorry, the 2 amp battery, which then brings this profile down even smaller. And it's got this little hook on the side that you can just throw on your belt or your bag, or you can run a tether through that so you don't lose it if you're climbing a tower. The M12 is awesome. Super lightweight, very effective though. I've had no issues with it, and I gotta do the dude thing, right? I love this thing, love it. Well, what the heck, since I'm showing you this. My set's old and they have upgraded both of these. I see no reason to upgrade though, because they work great. I love them. The drill version though, they do have concrete hammer drill options on the 12 volt line. I generally will put the 4 amp battery on here though, just so that, is this a 4 amp? Yeah, 4 amp hour. I'll generally do that just to get a bit more power. And yeah, I've used this to go straight into cinder block and masonry, for putting in lag bolts, for putting in antenna masts and support structures. It works great. I had no issue. Because again, how many bolts are we drilling? 5 up to 10? You can probably do that with one battery, maybe have a backup charging, and you're good to go. So with a toolkit like this, and a couple of the bits and some other stuff, you really got all your bases covered. And the good news is everything here pretty much works with everything your wife will ask you to fix around the house, which is why it's like my go-to little kit of stuff that I've been working with. And hey, these are just my opinions. If you don't like them, I don't really care. No, I'm just kidding, of course. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What was your favorite ham radio tools from this year? And yeah, it could be something that maybe you bought years ago, but you brought it out and you started using it and you realized, holy smokes, this thing's actually super, super useful. And we definitely want to share that with the community here on the Ham Radio Crash Course, so I appreciate it. If this was helpful to you, give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. And 73 from me, Josh KI6 NAZ.